You know that I love a long song. You know that if you give me an epic, we're gonna sink our teeth into. We're gonna put on our scuba suits and we're diving into it. I didn't even think I let the whole intro go. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope that you're having a great one. Listen, a 25-minute track, sign me up, brother. We're gonna listen to the band Karnataka. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, but it kind of just rolls off the tongue if I said it correctly, Karnataka. We're gonna listen to their title track, Requiem for a Dream. This is off of their album, like I said, of the same name. Released 2023, we're listening to this track because it was recommended and suggested and sponsored by Anthony. Anthony, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the suggestion. I've never heard of the band. Don't know a thing about them, but I do see that looking at the track listing, this is the final track on the album as well. And like I said, clocking in at about 25 minutes long. And by about, I mean at. It's at. So let's go ahead and dive on in. I'm excited. Listen, 25 minutes long. Grab a drink. You think this is enough? You think this is 25 minutes worth of water? You think that's enough? I should have refilled before I did that. You know, I got this at like one of the 5Ks I did, and it like what this brand is supposed to be is like inside there was an insert that like they have these special, I don't know, gel things that you could add flavor to your water, and you can add as much as you want. So you can add it like it's a Gatorade, or you can add as little, so it's just like flavored water. Get that out of here. Just give me the water, man. I ripped that all out and I just want water. So just give me the water, man. Just the H2O. All right, let's go ahead and dive into the song. We'll talk about it a little bit after. Karnataka. Here we go. I forgot to pull up the lyrics.
So sound asleep, we walk in dreams, we make believe reality, going round and round, can touch the ground. This world is lost, too blind to see. Inside our
Very excited to see where this goes.
we search to find the world we leave so far behind, so paralyzed, can't run, can't hide. We live each moment lost in time. I'm searching in my mind.
Brilliant singing.
Walking in my dream, I'm searching in my mind. Walking in my dream. This fantasy
As your opening.
is calling me, a mystery that holds the key. I close my eyes.
mythic and mystical kind of quality to it.
So deep inside my burning mind, a purity transforming me, the circle of infinity. I'm searching in my mind.
Some Uilleann pipes.
Walking in my dreams.
I'm okay with that.
I'm searching in my mind. Walking in my dreams.
Like, that's already a great opening. 4 minutes in. That's a wonderful opening. Feels like a full song already. There you go. Little 7/8 in there. Back and goes pretty nice. Just really good, like symphonic rock with incredible lead. And there's a lot of space as well, which I really like. That's a good note. She's almost hitting an operatic kind of range here. Right? Like the open mouth kind of soprano. There's your solo. I was wanting something. Little fake. Synth solo too? I like how the synth kind of opened this up. Drums slow down, music slow down, the synth is leading us into this transition. It's like the river opening into the musical ocean right here. A little delta. You heard that? low note leading into this heartbeat. This is always a change. This is really good so far. I love the whole orchestration of it all between the instruments and, of course, the orchestra. It's almost like a modern day Renaissance to an extent. And I love all those influences. It's very Lorena McKinnon. This is really a journey that I love songs like that are long like this. That hold. That was good. That was really good. You can't say that wasn't good. That you can't say that. Take it home, take it home, take it home. Take it behind us. Ooh, that slide is very John Petrucci, that very like Octavarian-esque. You can't tell me. You can't tell me. That's not good. You can't tell me crowd isn't cheering at that. Feels good. Another one. Give me another one. Orchestra rising behind it. Faintly, too. Rising. Gotta admit, like, that is really good. You can't tell me that's not. And the return of the pipes.
Hold our breath and pray. In silence we obey.
This is very Lorena McKinnon.
Beginning of the end. Requiem for a dream. So in the shadows we fall all alone. All alone.
Synth and flute together, pushing. Love how the pipes are still calling out there. We're marching. Double the bass. We're gonna go again. I like how this feels very happy, festive. This is a celebratory explosion happening right now. Synth reigns in that overdrive in the music. Now the drummer is really going in. And the bass. Into the open section again.
Are we dreaming?
They brought you in. It's setting you down.
And will we see rivers flowing? 'Cause I can't breathe.
That's what chanting.
'Cause I can't see, but I can lie to myself that it's not real, just a dream. So we keep dancing in the rain, still blinded by the storms that rage. So we keep dancing in the rain. So we keep dancing in the rain, still
The pipes make such a big difference at this point. We still have a little over a minute left. That kind of scared me. I like the right there at the end of talk, right? I like how that echoes in the distance there. If something jumps out, I'm gonna jump. Time is fading. Barely hear it. I think she's gone. I think that's one of the best songs I've heard recently in a while. That was near perfect. Near perfect. Always after a long journey, you take a second, catch your breath. Initial reaction, first thoughts, absolutely brilliant. 25-minute long, justified in its length. Nothing, to me, not anything in here within its 25-minute runtime felt egregious, felt unnecessary, felt out of place. You know I hate when like a song is going and then it goes in a different direction completely. And in a 25-minute progressive rock song, that can happen. Not the case at all here. Extremely well structured, incredibly well performed. It felt good. It was emotional. It wasn't just, how fast can we play? How many notes can I fit in 5 seconds? It wasn't any of that. And yet it had great technicality. Where do we even begin? The use of the uilleann pipes, the orchestration, the symphonic elements was like really refreshing to me. Because, and this is just speaking from personal experience, I used to, and sometimes occasionally still do, listen to like a lot of symphonic metal, okay? So like Symphony X, Epica, After Forever, all those bands, right? So that's kind of when it began, what I was kind of expecting the direction to go into. But this leans a lot closer to just more of a progressive rock, symphonic rock, with some folk elements kind of sounds, especially with those uilleann pipes. When that started, I was like, it's a great texture to use, and it completely changes the mood and the direction of the journey that we're taking in this. And I like how it's used not only in what I would call the rolling hills part, where I'm thinking of like the majestic rolling hills that those uilleann pipes are playing in the highlands, and it's very folk, symphonic based and forward. No, it's also used in some of those more momentous moments. The ending, when really all of the instruments come together in this wonderful climactic cross stitch, intersect, and just explode with this really beautiful glory, is an incredible moment. And a moment that goes on for quite a while. So it's not just this immediate euphoria that you get in the end. It's a constant release of serotonin and whatever else is released in your brain when you're feeling pleasure. It's just really wonderful how that's done. Let's use some names. Not yet. Let me talk a little bit more, actually. The guitar solo, I wasn't paying attention to like the time stamps. I'm just going to say halfway through or so. Maybe before, maybe after, but you know what I'm talking about. The guitar solo. Brilliant. I want to say it was just before the halfway mark, because I want to say at the halfway mark, the music kind of began to change and went into that transition. But what a brilliant, pleasurable guitar solo. Incredibly satisfying. Just diving into those higher notes, giving a rest, going higher. Giving a rest, going higher. And that was palpable. That satisfaction just kept on coming and coming and coming. Just wonderful, right? of course, as the music is growing around it. And then it did a little thing, and did a little thing, and then we got a second guitar solo that kind of recreated itself, completely different from the first, and yet by the end hitting that same note of satisfaction. Brilliant. Brilliant. The whole piece, the whole track played this great way of like, yeah, playing in those more rock moments without going like riff based. You know, that's why I said this almost sounds to me, not literally, but it almost sounds to me like Renaissance, but in modern day and in a modern era, in the use of, you know, the classical symphonic elements and the piano and the way that it's played. Not really so much like guitar riffage, even in a lighter way, not really so much, more symphonic based and lighter based like that. And just the way that it moved between passages. There was something I was going to say and I kind of just forgot it. I wish I remembered. I was just about to say there was a point I was going to make. But then halfway point, the music dropped out. After those nice climaxes, the music dropped out, right? I want to say it was around 12 minutes, but I could be wrong. And that's when the piano begins to lead in this kind of shadowy isolation. And then she begins singing again, and the drums start to come in. The percussion begins to drop in. And at that moment specifically, even though it was hinted at in previous moments that I had mentioned, it really began to sound and remind me of Lorena McKennitt. And obviously, love her music. So when it went into that kind of direction, I was like, wow, like we're really taking a nice journey here that is both adventurous, satisfying, technically sound, musically proficient, and it's just incredibly satisfying the whole way through. And kind of at the halfway point, I was like, when that transition started, I was like, man, here we go. Here's where we're going to prog it up, go into some weird 12/9 time signatures and play these wonky solos. And no, it never happened. It all stayed incredibly true to the music itself, which I love. It's playing to the song. We're not showing off just to show off. We're playing to the song. We have a message, a theme, a story, whatever it may be. And we're playing to that. We're not playing to our guitar or our keyboards or whatever. And the synths were really nice as well when those were integrated. The way that it matched with either the symphonic elements or the way it kind of undercut with the guitar, it was just really, really cool. And some of those more isolated moments where you kind of get some of the atmosphere from that was really nice. Okay, now that I've kind of talked about that, let's talk about let's use names. So don't quote me because I don't know a thing about the band, but looking at Prog archives, I'm assuming that really the band is made up of primarily two people. Ian Jones, who's handling bass, keyboards, piano, orchestration, bass pedals, acoustic guitar, and then Sitari, who's the lead vocalist. First of all, I love Sitari's vocals. I love the way that she delivers her singing. There's a few moments in there where in those more climactic, kind of eras, she almost seems to lean towards a more operatic approach. Like, I don't know how to do it, but you know what I mean? Like like you can see an opera singer open-throated, open-mouthed, eyes concentrated and focused and singing those notes and holding those sustained notes. And there's a few moments where it seems that she's leaning towards that. And I'm not sure if she has operatic training or not. Regardless, it sounds incredible. And what I really like is that she didn't rely on that. And that kind of brings me back to the main point of why this was so good in every respect, is also because, once again, it's playing towards the song. Maybe the top-ranked chef in the world can make the most brilliant steak with the most brilliant chimichurri and some fancy ingredients that you've never heard of and I've never heard of. They make all these fancy things, put it on a plate. Brother, I'm just hungry. You don't need to fancy it up. I'm hungry. Feed me. Give me just a normal steak. Put some, mashed potatoes and some green beans or something, some spinach. Like, you don't have to fancy dilly-dally it up. You can put some good seasoning on it. I still, show me you're a chef, but you don't have to dilly-dally it up. And I feel like in the track, Sitari is doing something similar. If this makes sense. Let me try and bring this home. She does do those, more technical aspects and bring those in, those higher notes, the sustained notes with incredible, right? Incredible. I know she's a chef. But the point is, she's cooking for the song. She doesn't feel the need to chef it up just to chef it up. She doesn't need to feel like divaing it up just to diva this song up. No, she sings and delivers towards the song itself, and she feeds us. She puts the food on the plate. That's actually not bad. That was actually a decent way of me explaining it. At least it felt right to me. Hopefully it made sense to you, but it felt right to me. And then the musicianship from Ian Jones, who, like I said, is handling bass, piano, keyboards, all of those things, is really, really well done in playing accordingly and with that orchestration that's happening. Now, there's a lot of other players happening here. Luke Mackin on guitars as well. Chris Allen on the drums. Really, really nice drums as well. Troy Denockley on the uilleann pipes and those low whistles, which I thought were flutes, but low whistles is what's there. As I mentioned before, Troy on those uilleann pipes is just incredible. Have those sounds. And then additional keyboards from Gonzalo Carrera. So you have a lot of other musicians to round it out to take the heart of the band, which I'm assuming is Ian Jones and Satari, since they're credited specifically as the lineup of musicians. And then you have the rest of these members to kind of add color, add direction, embellish, so on and so forth. Genuinely just a really impressive track. I really, really enjoyed this. I thought this was near perfect. Why near perfect and not perfect? Because it's a first listen and it's 25 minutes long and I need to hear it one more time to see if it hits mi corazón. Okay, now here's one problem I had, and it's not with the music or anything like that. I could not find lyrics anywhere. And I mean, I searched. I went to their website. I went around. I went to like a YouTube channel just to see if I could find someone posting lyrics to the song underneath a video. I could not find anything whatsoever. The only thing that I kind of found, and it's not lyrics, but you know, we'll work with it as we have, was an interview with Ian here, obviously, like I mentioned, one of the main members of the band. So in reading a little bit of this interview, I'm just trying to skip ahead to see if all right, here we go. Is it a concept album? In the context of the album, Requiem for a Dream means our mourning for a once beautiful planet which has been ravaged by human activity. It symbolizes the change in the planet's climate and the seemingly ever-worsening climate crisis. Yes, it is a concept album in the sense that it has a lot of internet-connected themes which run through the album, with time being something of a binding thread throughout, obviously completely enunciated by the ending with the tick-tock and time running out there. This is something that both myself and Satari had a personal interest in. We had a few concerns that some might see us as jumping on a climate change bandwagon, but in '98 I graduated as an environmental scientist, my degree having a strong focus on sustainable and third world development, which is strongly connected with my interest in India. This was a long time before climate had become a real buzzword of major concern. All right, so there you go about that. Would you please tell us about the lyrics and separate songs? Okay. I'm looking here, there you go, Requiem for a Dream. Let's stick right here. Okay, Requiem for a Dream deals with themes of time, denial, climate change, but also addiction in the sense that our addiction to our lifestyles is contributing to climate change. But it's also about the wonder and uniqueness of the planet and the hope for the future. We keep dancing in the rain, that's what she sings at the very end. Can be read as a metaphor for the insignificance of our planet in the vastness of space, which is a reference to Carl Sagan's pale blue dot, but also as a cleansing mechanism, hope for a fresh start, a new beginning, hope that we can overcome global warming through change, science, etc. So this connects strongly to All Around the World and explains the TikTok message that starts and ends these tracks. The TikTok also makes reference to the album cover, which you see right here with the clocks on it, and you saw during the listen. I took my inspiration for the cover design from the concept of the doomsday clock and extrapolated the idea to symbolize what happens if our clocks go past midnight. Hence that tick tock, eventually just ending in there. Anyways, that was, I really, really thoroughly enjoyed listening to that. That was a wonderful listen. Wonderful listen. Anthony, thank you so much for the suggestion, for the request. Hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Follow me in a few places. Press the like button before you leave if you don't mind. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you later. Bye, guys.